All right, hello, and we are back doing some Pioneer. I haven't played that much Magic since Lorwyn came out, unfortunately, and I feel like I should do some catching up, so I wanted to record a Pioneer video. Got a really spicy one. Excited to give this a try. Hopefully we can get some W's. But this is a Training Ground slash Enigma Jewel deck. So Enigma Jewel is like a Soul Ring for activated abilities, and Training Ground makes all your activated abilities cost 2 less. So the way we are going to use that and abuse that, we also have Omen Hawker as another Enigma Jewel, but we've got Hypnotic Grifter, which if we have Training Ground, it's now 1 mana to connive. You can spend all your mana drawing cards. We can use Enigma Jewel to add 2 mana. That works with Nykthos or Field of Ruin. So Nykthos makes a bunch of mana. We've got Grifter to draw cards. We've got the new card Loch Mare, which can draw cards by removing counters or stun things. And then we've got Proft to tie everything together. So once we get enough card draw going, we can just stack counters on Loch Mare and use the ability. I also have Wan Shi Tong as a Devotion Enabler. This is a 2-drop that you can put Proft counters on. It's Flying Vigilance. It's also a mana sink with Nykthos. The fact that we have all these things that make our Field Runner activate for cheap, like Enigma Jewel, makes Wan Shi Tong also appealing. So there's a lot of different synergy going on in this deck. It's really cool. Pretty proud of it. And like I said, I hope we don't crash and burn too hard. We've got 4 Unable to Scream because the format's incredibly fast. You die on turn 3 and turn 4 all the time. You need to interact with things like Lana Relf. You need to interact with things like Soulscar Mage. Prowess is one of the best decks at killing you on turn 4. We're maybe going to struggle a bit against Greasefang, but whenever you're experimenting in a format, it's fine, right? You just get the kinks out later. And then finally, we've got Master of Waves because we have so many devotion cards. Everything in our deck is a permanent. We've got Thassa as well. This can be a way to get through your large Proft creature. Just give it unblockable. Also, this thing just beats down. You can put the counters on it with Profts. And when you have like Training Ground and Jewel lying around, sometimes you don't even need any creatures in play for this to be animated. And then Master of Waves just makes an army in a can. It's not rare for this to just make like 12 power. So a pretty powerful card and useful against things like Izzet, where they have to bounce this. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to get through all the things on the board. Mana base, we've got Agna Qel'a. Anything that works with activated abilities is good with Jewel and Omen's Hawker. So our lands are much better than they look. We got 2 Otawara, 2 Hall of the Storm Giant, and then of course a bunch of islands because we are playing a mono blue deck. Side deck, I was trying to figure out, I was trying to look at the format and figure out what different things I wanted for different matchups. Honestly, it's just really difficult to keep up as a mono blue deck. So what I decided I was going to do is just have a bunch of 1 mana counter spells, and then just hope that things line up well so you can kind of catch up and get to the mid or late game where your deck can shine. So we've got Minor Misstep. This doesn't counter Corey Steelcutter, but it can counter all the other things in the Prowess deck. Maybe against like a Monstrous Rage on a key turn where you have Master of Waves. This can be helpful. And then if you're going first, you can just stop their 1-drops. Spell Pierce, Spell Snare. This can counter Corey Steelcutter, of course. Aether Gust for red and green decks. Cauldron's a cool sideboard card. I decided that I wanted this for decks like Greasefang. Because it works well with the other things in my deck, where I can just have a dead Grifter or Loch Mare or Omen Hawker. You can even have these in the main deck if you really wanted, but this is just mostly a graveyard hate piece that has more utility in my deck. Damping Sphere for Lotus Field. Brazen Borrower just as a nice interaction piece and a devotion card. And then finally, we've got 3 Glen Elendra Guardian. This plays really well with Omen Hawker. It's decent with Jewel. And it is something that if you have Profs going, you can just stack all the counters on this, and you can just keep countering things over and over again. With the way this deck works, you end up with a lot of mana. Training Grounds makes this ability 1 mana. Jewel can help you activate it twice, even in 1 turn. So, nice card to have. Decent card against things like combo and control. So, that is the list. I'm excited, like I've said. I think I've said it twice now, but I'm not going to be too surprised if we crash and burn. Pioneer is a difficult format to keep up with. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that Corey Steelcutter didn't get the axe last list, but I guess people have adapted to it well enough. Temporary lockdowns, pretty good against the things like the Prowess deck. So, yeah, that is it. If you guys want the list, it is in the description. Otherwise, if you want to hang out and watch the games, I will see you in those. Feel free to hit like and subscribe. And other than that, I'll see you in the games. All right, let's go. First, we're up against Mr. Silly. We have... I guess I'll keep this. This ain't needs help, but... we have Nykthos and Jewel. So... start with that. I guess I can lead on Omen Hawker as well if I want, but it might die. I'm gonna mulligan once. Okay, so let's go. Get pushed now. I guess let it happen. Do I want a training ground? So I can training grounds, Loch Mare pass. I can also just training grounds Omen Hawker. Bad is it if they push my Loch Mare? It's bad. There you go. Don't have anything. We're pretty set up. Hopefully this isn't like Grease Fang or something that's gonna annihilate me. Sage your Nykthos, sure. I mean that's a solid play, but we can still do things. Alright. I guess. Loch Mare and draw 2 cards. Alternatively, I can just field Loch Mare. I think since we have a limited amount of blue, it doesn't matter. Do this, we're gonna get affected. Alright, your turn. Been better to just get Thassa down. I think so though. I think I just want to draw cards and try to set up more power plays. Oh, it's a combo deck. Go ahead and draw a card. I think we're just gonna race. What I have is pretty good beatdowns. Gonna untap. I want to do it in their upkeep. Means I don't get to attack. I do get to attack. Can't block. Get more value. Stun counter. If I do it after their untap step. Could just cast something that untaps this twice and kill me. I mean, I might just die right there playing a combo deck. I don't know if we're gonna be able to kill them quick enough. Collector Company in their deck, maybe? Well, Unable is nice because it turns off the Qel'a. I'd be surprised if they have company. The Omen Hawker is a free unblock, or no block. I mean, the extra mana I'm getting from Hawker and Jewel isn't particularly useful here. It's just good for the land. Blowing up the Nykthos is kind of annoying. Oh, yeah, a lot of mana. Okay, come down. We just leave up a little flyer, and then we've got unblockables. Can you kill me? Okay. Not a great start. Alright, well, Thassa should get the job done. Profts too. One. Nice. Okay. Well, that wasn't anything too crazy, but got it done. I'm against Azurite combo. I have no idea what I want to be doing against this. So, I want to interact with permanents, I think. I think the unables look very good. Gust, even Pierce maybe is worth having just for elected company. Have more interaction and that. Like, I could have Glen Elendra. Kind of expensive, though. I think I'm going to take out a Jewel. Hawker. How good do I think Master Waves is? And how good do I think Thassa is? I actually think I do like Thassa in this matchup. I'm going to trim the Master Waves. Mostly because I'm just worried it's a little slow. Or like it's 4 mana and then it's not going to one-shot them all the time. I think Thassa's maybe more appealing in the hands where I draw more interaction. This hand isn't perfect, but I do have Unable to Stream, which seems important. We've got lands. We've got a lot of good draws in our deck. And we can build some devotion up between the Brazen Borrower and the Wan Shi Tong. That card's not going to down. There you go. Okay, that's something to bounce. Sorry about that. Loch Mare. I did want to get that down. It's kind of slow, but that's with their mana a bit. Thought seized. You have 2 left. Badger Mole Cub, ladies and gentlemen. What a card. Could die next turn. They also have 1,000,000 mana. Yeah, I guess that's the reason to play this deck now, right? Is Badger Mole Cub makes it infinite. You don't have to play the shitty cards. But they have Azurite, I am dead, correct? Right, taps for 3 now, so they drain. I die. Fun. Pioneer Gaming. Okay. Can't do anything about that. We will just have to die. I could put in Damping Sphere, but that doesn't seem great. Kind of messes with me. It's mostly a card for Lotus Field. I don't know. If I had to pick a card for this matchup, what would I want in my sideboard? Just more things that interact with Cub and Elves. I think this deck is just, it's just hard. Like, it's hard to have things go perfectly. I think most of the other decks are going to have a better Goldfish than we do. 4 mana. Do I just want to leave the Borrower? Yeah, this is worth fighting over. I think I should just get a threat down. Okay. We're at 5 devotions, so this Wan Shi Tong gets to get cast for 3. Could have played it in main phase. Worth 1 counter. I'm probably just gonna enable to scream this, right? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is really good. Can I kill them? This is disgusting. Okay. Well. Going our deck off. Yeah, I think they were dead, right? So it's 10 draws, then 10 counters from Proft, plus 8 is 18 in the air. That was a turn 5 kill? That was pretty impressive. All right, happy. Happy to get 1. No promises for the rest of the video, but that was sweet. I mean, that was very strong. That highlighted the power of Nykthos alongside Jewel. We did all the things. I think we top decked pretty well considering. But impressive stuff. All right, good start. Good start. GG's. All right, opponent goes first. I've got enough stuff that I'm gonna keep. My hand doesn't really do anything, but we'll hope for Nykthos. We'll hope for some help. You get to draw a card every turn. Got 2 lands. Turn 1 Jewel is very good. I think Training Grounds is maybe the best card. Yeah. If we draw Nykthos, this hand goes pretty insane. Bushwhack? Oh no, this is just like Neoform. That's really bad for me. I guess I can scream the... Yeah. Alright. Let's see what happens here. Next turn I can Wan Shi plus Field of Ruin to draw. Get into a Master Waves? Nothing. So maybe they just feel like they don't want to go for it without protection. Wan Shi Tong is kind of nice against Neoform as well. I get to draw. Let's slide this thing into play. Right? Otawara it? What? Okay, sure. I'm gonna replay it. Another field of them, okay. Did I play it uncounterable? Not sure what all I'm worried about. I could also just play this Master Wave. Relatively threatening, but I think I'm just go. I don't really care about the counter. I think I would rather have the Omen Hawker in play, so go. I wonder what's going on. They probably have Stubborn Denial in their deck. I don't know what other counters. Maybe they just can't counter Wan Shi Tong. Flux. Stubborn Denial. I can protect an Oculus. We might be able to just beat an Oculus, though, because of how our deck works. Yeah, the hands where you draw Nykthos, this deck feels kind of busted. I don't need it, though. I think that's what's so appealing about this card. We're just casting Oculus, no protection. Well, that's mildly annoying for me. I guess I don't want to field a room. Okay, X equals 1. I need them to not spin into another Oculus, because that would be very sad for me. Another field room. So, worried about here. But I get more damage, right? Counters. Wan Shi Tong field room is nice. Ooh, hello. Huh. Well, against their deck, I think I just want to get. But they don't have any more basics. I think I just want to get Master Wave into play. This is gross. Didn't even notice they didn't get a basic. Oh my god. Okay, well, that's good. I think that's better than Master Waves. Cool. Good. I think I've stacked all the counters. Done. Here we go. Well, win or lose, very impressive. I think they're back. Sure. They draw blue land. It doesn't really matter, right? I just have the Loch Mare. Good to use the Loch Mare. Activate the ability to draw, activate the ability to draw, activate the ability to draw. It goes to 0 counters. Proft resolves. That's going to give 3 counters to the Loch Mare. I could also use the Grifter, but I'm just going to get to draw a bunch of cards and then still stun the Oculus so they can't even block my 10-10. Okay, so. Guys, I guess I want... And then there's, okay, so this is a Neoform deck, so I definitely want Spell Snare. Is Cauldron good? So Cauldron's only good against hard cast. Seems like I have a lot of good cards here. Do I want Pierce? Pierce can help me fight counter wars. Finally, Misstep, not really. So it's Cauldron and Pierce are the other things I'm considering. I think Gusting a Neoform is probably good because they don't have the body anymore because they pay cost. Obviously, Spell Snare is good. I think Glen Elendra is good enough. Question is, do I want Master of Ways? They have Bushwhack to fight over it, and then maybe some sideboard cards. Unable to Scream is kind of interesting, where like it's sort of good against Oculus, but they get the 2/2, and then they can blink the Oculus. So how many do I want? Just taking out a Jewel and an Omen Hawker on the draw is fine. I don't think those cards are required. You can even maybe take out a Grifter. I think your nut draw is like Jewel, Training Ground, Grifter. So that just leads you set up to draw a million cards. I guess I'll try no Master Waves. Do I want Thassa? I think we can get by without. And what do I do with these unable? I don't really want to cut any of my other cards, so We're gonna try two. I'm gonna have a couple of ways to interact with Oculus when it hits the battlefield. We can bounce it. We can unable to scream it. Otherwise, I think the plan is just gonna be stop that from happening. So maybe Cauldron is something worth having as a part of that plan because it makes it so they can't cast it when there's 6 cards in the graveyard. But since my opponent's deck's not really gonna remove that many of my permanents, I have to loot away my things to get the value off Cauldron, which maybe is okay. Maybe that's fine. I did say in the intro, I want a Hawker because they have Loch Mare. I did say in the intro that you should main deck Cauldron. I don't think that's terrible. Normally, I would, I think, rather go Jewel. I think since I can just activate Loch Mare on 2, I don't want help. Okay. Specific case. So, next question is, would I rather Training Grounds and... I think so. This is a nice start. Hawker and a Loch Mare is good stuff. I feel like this deck does a really good job of, like, showing what Pioneer is kind of supposed to be. Where, like, this is just old standard cards that are powerful together. Yep. Like, this rotated out not that long ago. This rotated out not that long ago. But you do... whatever the headspace was when they were designing cards, they're probably, like, trying to figure out how to get some stuff like this to work. When you have a format like Pioneer, that is a place for these things to exist, which I think is cool. Alright, Training Grounds... Field. So I think my opponent has 2 basics in the deck. Let's go here. I can just Wan Shi. Yeah. If they want to block, I can pump my guy. Now I don't get to Wan Shi plus... everything out here. They're on Stubborn Denial as well. I could not play the Training Grounds, I guess, and just draw. That's probably better. The mana I'm getting from it is valuable anyway, and I won't have activated abilities, so yeah, this is better. Okay. So you can Oculus me, but I get to bounce it. I'm gonna recast it though. Missed on land. Oh, hello. What are you doing? A lot of mana. Oh, we've got all this stuff. I didn't give up. I mean, we could talk about what we could do there. But... how much mana was I going to have? This resolves. The second one resolves. Jewel, Nykthos. Devotion count is 5. And then I just leave these here. They'll probably do this for 3. On their turn. Activate. Field. Get another mana. Draw another card. This ends up having... whatever, 5 power. Get a draw, and then we have Borrower Gust for whatever they could possibly do. So the only thing we're really missing is like a Proft to get the Loch Mare online, but that matchup does seem pretty good for us, but I'm happy to be 2-0. Nice. Alright, GG's. Get one more match. See if we can get a clean 3-0 with the brew. Alright. Against Yorion. I think this deck should be okay into blue decks. The biggest, the thing I'm afraid of the most is temporary lockdown, which maybe I should have another annul in my side deck for that card. Looks like it is a different deck. What is Yorion Overgrown Tomb? Enigmatic? Guess we'll just Proft. Because I want pieces. Curving is nice, but like I need one of the cards that makes my hand good. Part of why I kept this hand was I think Loch Mare is nice against like counterspell decks. Sell that. Okay, we'll hit you. I could connive. I'm just gonna put stuff into play. Holy Ritual is sort of the same as temporary lockdown in terms of a card that really messed me up. Growth Spiral. Good to go Calling Ritual and the game probably ends. Binding of the Old Gun. That is not a Calling Ritual. Play on. Alright, that's a decent draw. This is forced. Means I think I'm just gonna play this Wan Shi Tong. Need a jewel. Need a... I guess Training Grounds is probably the best. Wan Shi Tong triggers. Okay. Yeah, they were supposed to do that before they searched, but I'll take the freebie. Oh, this is a white land. Huh. What's going on? Don't know what my opponent's for. They're up to nonsense. Alright, well maybe we can beat nonsense. Maybe they just do nothing and we can win. We have untap land Yorion, but I don't have anything to blink. They're at 5. They might just kill me. Okay, I don't know if they're like the ultimatum. That being gone probably makes it harder for them. I don't know the name of it. I think it's Emergent Ultimatum. Excuse me. Okay, well, Time Walk into stuff. Pretty good start for not being dead. Now that Yorion is good, maybe they can just gain enough life. One wants to buy time. No Yorion Ed is kind of interesting. Edict after I get my... It's like the Grifter. This is forced double jump. They don't have to use the Grifter. Jewel, Training Ground. Excuse me, it's not forced double jump, I don't know why. Do we want to just deal 4 and play Jewel? think so. So they're gonna get +2. Do I want to play Otawara? It's worth it to get the extra threat. Yorion, go to 6. Blink. Haul. Third block's Haul, then block 4. They're dead. I guess I can draw 1 mana removal spell off of the Omen. Or 2 mana removals. Popped. Okay, that's scary. Well, I guess I just use the Loch Mare, right? Can I Loch Mare enough? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna say, can I Loch Mare just pull things down and have it be lethal? I was trying to figure out if I could beat spot removal, but whatever. Good enough. Okay, so my opponent is like Sultai control, basically. Just like a bunch of Shielded Edicts, value things, Cornucopia to gain life. Probably some amount of card draw spells. Alright, what do I want against? Do I want Gust? Omen. No, oh, I don't have a null in my side deck. I'm just not realizing that. There's supposed to be a null in the side deck. I think you could maybe cut one of the Spell Snares for an null. Pretty sure I talked about it earlier in the video. Okay, Guardians in. Borrowers mid. Do I want Snare? Guess I'll try it. Stopping their Omens might be something that's good. And Pierce, sure. Assuming Unable is bad. Astro Waves is okay. I want all the Wan Shi Tongs. I want all the Loch Mare. Could take out a Jewel. I kind of just want to keep in all the mana. I am scared of Culling Ritual, though. Got 1 Jewel, 1 Hawker. Astro Wave. Astro Waves is a weird card. It's kind of hard to tell how good it's going to be in a given match or game. You need to know what cards are in your opponent's deck, and I just don't actually know what my opponent's really got going on. It's kind of sweet, though. Let's go Grounds into Grifter, leave up Pierce. It will pierce a Growth Spiral. Omen. If this was a Spell Snare, I would slam it. But I think I want to use the Pierce to fight over mana. Playing around Pierce, I guess? Remove a spell too, wow. Bad for me. Yeah, that was probably worst case scenario. I think it's Jewel. Oh, there you go. Well, the Soaring is going to be very good. That's not good for me. my lumps. Well, if I had countered this Omen, my life would be much easier. The way things played out was really unfortunate. They had to have Growth Spiral into 2-mana removal spell when I activated. And I did say in sideboarding, I literally said, if I can stop the Omen, their Yorion gets so much worse. So maybe I should have followed my own rule. Or in a pickle. Question of how many removal spells do they have? If they have 2, it's bad. If they have 1, it's fine. Okay, have to do this. I don't really want to. You get to cycle a cut down effectively. Yeah, I mean this game just could not have gone worse. Nykthos, not really doing much for us. Maybe we just get to resolve like a Wan Shi Tong and we can still win? I doubt it. Yep. Maybe they have Bring to Light and Valky in their deck? I don't really get these lands yet. Ah, this poor Spell Pierce. Like, it's so funny. I have 1 Spell Pierce in my 75, and they just played around it perfectly at every point. Okay. Hit 3 guys. Probably just gonna get Shieldred's Edicted again. I don't really know why, but it appears they have 4 of these in their deck. Cut down also answers this. Now that I know they have cut down in their deck, I can maybe just board these out because they've like proven to me that they're gonna play a lot of ways to answer it. Alright, well let's go first and have a good start. Time Walk in their deck? They probably do have the Ultimatum, right? Brazen Borrower is a flash threat, but I don't think I need it. Like, I have other flashy stuff. I've got Glen, Elendra, and Wan Shi Tong, so be good. Doesn't seem like bouncing things against their deck is very good, so just a question of do I want 3 mana, 3/1 flash, and I don't. Stand's iffy, but I do have cards that seem good in the matchup, so we'll keep. obviously our worst draw. Well, unfortunate way to have the streak end, but sometimes when you play Magic, this happens. So, a little bit of reality for the kids at home. Maybe we could still win. These things are gonna have to carry. And they're probably gonna play an enchantment card, and then I'm just gonna be dead to Yorion. Missing lands here is pretty rough. Because, like, all their cards that should just be terrible if I got to play the game, I don't get to use any of my abilities. Lucky. Not counter this. Frustrating spot where I can't actually play Profts because it turns off my Guardian. I just don't have anything to pair it with because everything that I've played has died, and I didn't have any counterplay because I couldn't hit land drops to activate my abilities. So we can main phase 2 it, I guess. Is that good enough to get us somewhere? Really? I'm gonna figure out what these weird triumphs are. Give me Yorion. Goes away next turn, so I don't have to worry that much. Hopefully they don't have an Omen. What their hand is. Growth Spiral. Guess I would just counter an Omen? Annoying. Fielding doesn't accomplish anything. I think I'd rather have it saved for the Wan Shi Tong. Forgot this was cost. What? Okay, clearly they're Emergent Ultimate. They had an Alrund Epiphany and Titan of Industry. They're playing Emergent Ultimatum. I guess, like, the red Triumph is for Valky, maybe? Oh, the Wan Shi Tong card. Oh, lands. Okay, well, 2-1 is not bad. I think this deck was really cool. We got pretty unlucky here, but I think we got lucky in other places. So, proud of this video, proud of this deck. I think that was cool. I mean, we lost to, like, a pretty terrible deck. This should be a very good matchup for our deck as well. Yeah, you know, I think putting a null in the side deck, that's the only change I would make. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun playing this deck. I encourage you to try it, especially if you already have the cards. It is a lot of fun to play, and it's very different than anything else in Pioneer. It's super unique. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you did, and I will see you in the next one, all right? Take care. Peace.